what sometimes is never fun and can be frustrating? Is losing. Now, in Magic the Gathering, typically you're going to lose more than you win, or at least you should. If not, you may want to examine and be like, either you're really, really good and have the most luck in the world and all this stuff, but if you're playing Commander or things like that, your win percentage can be a little bit higher depending on your play group. But I mean, sometimes if it's like you have like a really high win percentage, you win like 90% of the time, you're probably pub stopping or cheating or something like that. But welcome to MTG Tuesday's tips and tricks. And today we're going to talk about losing. And we've been talking about CDH. And this goes into both CDH and normal Magic. But in CDH, there is a high chance you lose or draw. But honestly, it's a little bit different in CDH. And so we'll talk about that. Losing in CDH and drawing in CDH, kind of. But we want to talk about also learning from losing. Learning from your matches. And so you're going to lose quite a bit when you're playing CDH. Because there's a 1 in 4 chance that you win and a 3 in 4 chance that you lose. Now, in typical normal Commander games, there isn't a draw. You just keep going and going and going. But in a lot of CDH games, especially if you're playing in a tournament, there's a time limit. And when it gets to that time limit, if there is no resolution by the end of a turn, it goes to a draw. Which draws are not bad because you get 1 point. Losses are bad. And honestly, the people who it benefits, if you've lost the game, you're already out of the game, you've lost life total, whatever, it benefits you for the game to go to a draw. But you're going to lose. And you have to expect to lose and understand that you're going to lose. And people are going to beat you. You could even play your best game ever and still lose. I've had wins on the stack and lost. And you go back and you think, is there anything else that could have done better? And honestly, in some of those situations, they just had the cards. They had all the right cards at the right time, at the right moment. And you look at it and you said, there was nothing I could do. But a lot of times when you lose, you should go back and be like, okay, was there anything I could do better? Was there anything that I could do that could have changed how this outcome happened? Could I have played better? Could I have held removal for a different spell? And you should go back and review your games in your head. You should go back and look and be like, hey, I lost this one. Is there anything I could have done? Now, like, if you get into a game and someone just has a perfect hand on turn 1 and they win before you even get a chance to go, there's not anything really you could say, oh, I could have done better. But if you're like, get a hand, and you look at your hand, and there's no interaction. You're running decks with interaction, because some form of interaction. But you're like, oh, no, I'm going to risk it. I've got a good hand who's going to set me up. But you have no interaction. You can look back and say, okay, I probably should have mulliganed for a hand that had some interaction in it. Because those times you get greedy are the times they have the one-off, one thing on turn 1, turn 2, where they try to go for the win. If you had removal, if you had some sort of way to stop it, you could have. But if not, they just go off and win. So you want to replay back in your mind how you won. But in CDH, there's a good chance you lose. But there's also a chance you draw. So if you want to go play in a CDH tournament, and I recommend doing at least giving it a shot one time once you get into CDH. Don't just go straight off before you've learned how to play CDH. Like, get in and play a couple games of CDH with different people. Go to a tournament. But realize that sometimes a draw is better than a loss. So a lot of times people will offer a draw at the table. They will literally say this. They'll say, hey, I have this, this, and this. You can try to win here, but I have basically, especially when it comes to time, I have enough to stop what's going on. Do we all agree to a draw? To be a draw. Or the game just goes to time, and then no one can do anything, and yada yada. It ends being a thing. But taking a draw sometimes, if there's no way forward, go for it. The other day, we were playing online. We had a short time frame on CDH, and basically it was my turn. I was trying to go for a win, because we were at time, and so it would have went to my turn, and possibly there would have been a couple minutes left on the other player's turn. I had ability to play some spells, but I wasn't probably going to be able to just straight win all the way through if someone had a counter spell or two. And the guy basically said, look, I'm going to stop this here. I see you're trying to go for a win, but I can just tell you this. We can call for a draw, or you can play through. And I said, well, got Ristic Study out so I could draw a card. I was like, honestly, you have 2 counter spells and a way to basically just say no one can win or lose the game. So I'd have to do the moment where I figured out when to go for the win and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, if I go to cast this, do your counter spell. Let's just walk through this. At least turn 1. Let me draw the top card, and then I can agree. And I looked at the top card. It was a land. It wasn't going to stop the game. I had 1 counter spell in hand. Outside of that, I had nothing to stop the rest of it. So I was like, you know what? You win. You got it. Good game. Everyone draws. And sometimes in the game, you just sit there and you draw, and you say, okay, it's a draw. But you still should go back because a draw is not a win, so technically it's not a loss either. So it's still a point. But you go back in your head and say, okay, could I played better? Anything I could have did better? Done faster? Maybe not messed up? Tap this mana better? Whatever. Go back, review your games. But realize this, you are going to lose games in Magic the Gathering. You should be losing games in Magic the Gathering. And guess what? Losing makes you a better player. Winning all the time does not make you a better player. That makes you pretty much a pub stomper or something like that. If you can win all the time, how do you get better? You don't. You're not getting any better. You're staying the same. And eventually, you're going to meet people that are better than you or have better skill level than you, and you're not going to know how to overcome those kind of decks because you haven't faced the adversity of losing. Losing is adversity. And adversity helps us get stronger and get better. You look at sports, you look anywhere. People have lost, and then they come back the next season, they're even stronger, they're faster, they're better. Magic the Gathering, you lose, you learn from the mistakes, maybe you fix some things in your deck, maybe you fix the way you play, you add some stuff, you take some stuff away, you remember that, and you blog that, and you say, okay, I see how this deck wins, now I know how to maybe stop it next turn. When you lose, it's a good thing. It's never fun to lose, but losing is a good thing. And sometimes it's hard to accept. I love to win. I hate to lose. That's just my mentality. But I also understand when I do lose that I can figure out if I could have done anything better and tried to win a better way or done something differently. So I would grant it and take that to you. Just do all you can. Learn from your losses. Learn from your mistakes. Overcome. Become a better player. And realize CDH is fun. And I hope you would join us playing some CDH games sometime in the Sleeves and Dweebs Discord, wherever you want to. Feel free to show me. I'll get some games scheduled out. And I love that play with many people. But thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, we'll see you next time.